Welcome back. Here's the open house system. So I want to talk to you a little bit about a system that we've used to formulate, to create leads, generate leads, and create some leverage in your business. Okay, so the open house system that we've perfected and refined over the years is born of some failures. We want you to avoid them. We want you to avoid failures. Okay, so let's talk about it. Why would we do open houses? Well, this is an undeniable truth from 93,000 people surveyed. The 2017 Generational Trends Report tells us how consumers find their agent. I didn't make this up. Well, I did. Interestingly enough, we've spent about, almost 6 weeks worth of videos talking about number one is how do we get after our network? How do we get after the number one source of how people find their agent? That is through a referral. Okay, but let's talk about number two. Interestingly enough, we've got 5% of the people that responded, they said they met their agent at an open house. Another 3% said they saw the contact info on a for sale or open house sign. Now I wish that NAR would have broken that number out, okay, but they didn't. So I'm adding them together and it's 8. Interestingly enough, only 7% said they found their agent from online. You want to know why there's an abundance of online leads and only 1 or 2% of them convert? It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. What people do is they search online and then they ask for a referral. Or they search online and then they go to open houses. It's just a different way to look at how you can capture leads. So let's talk about open house automation, because if you've been in the business long enough and you've sat enough open houses, you've gotten shut out. Okay? I'll bet you every person watching this video that's done more than, I don't know, I'll say 5, minimum 10 open houses, you've gotten shut out, like had 0 people through. It happens. This system is designed to help you minimize the number of times that happens to you. So let me walk you through it. All right, so first, you gotta, I love Zig Ziglar. One of the things he would say is you gotta avoid stinking thinking by giving yourself a checkup from the neck up. You gotta change your attitude about your business and open houses. Why do we do open houses? Is it to sell that house? Happens a very low percentage of the time. Extremely low. Okay? Hey, it does happen. Every time I make that, I point that stat out, I'll get someone in the audience typically say, well, I know I've sold one, or you'll get a consumer that says, I bought one at an open house, and okay. But in reality, most people don't buy a house they see at an open house. Okay? Now, is it to capture buyers? Is that why we do an open house? Yeah, but that's only part of the answer. I want you to start to think about open houses as a way to do even more than that. Not just capture one buyer, not just capture a couple of buyers, okay? I want you to capture now business, of course, because people that are touring houses are typically later in the sales cycle. It's a great way to siphon off that internet lead that really isn't connected to a real person yet, and you can be that real person. But it's also a way to build your network, because if you build your network, you're building your net worth. And all too often we forget that part, because it's easy to forget that part when we're straight commission sales. But you should be thinking of it as, hey, I'm going to build a number of C's or D's in my database. I'm going to be intentional about growing that database, and I'm going to work hard to grow that database, because I'm going to cultivate that database over time. That's how you win, over time. All right, and then why not start to think about a geographic farm strategy? I am really blessed and lucky right now. I have 2 listings within 3 minutes of my house. Wow, I forgot how great that is. I honestly did, because I've been busy with the software group and all that stuff. And I'm like, wow, It's like easy to pop by and see the client. It's easy to do that. It's so comfortable, you know. And then I have another listing right now that is not near my house, and it's more of a hardship. I got to work a little harder. It's not a hardship, but it is. You're working harder. So why wouldn't you start to think about a geographic strategy to improve your quality of life, improve your exposure in areas you want to work? It's easy not to do that. All right, so how could you turbocharge your geographic farm? Well, you know, very easily now you can upload a list of neighbors, okay? And if you've executed on the transaction multiplier strategy and you've done the countdown timer page to generate buyers, and then you've uploaded a list to mail around that listing, you've already done this, okay? Well, in general, you want to pick criteria that's owner-occupied, lived there at least 7 years, low loan to value or high equity. Why do I say owner-occupied? Because people will want to debate me on this. I don't care if you want to do vacants or you want to do non-owner occupied. I'm saying owner occupied because I want you to start to think about building relationships with people that live in that area. That's the only reason why. If you want to mail rented properties, it's not a problem, okay? Not a problem whatsoever. All right, this is just the general criteria, all right? But now you can download individual PDFs of the physical newsletter. Pretty cool. We couldn't do that before. So you don't have to mail these. You'll get a file that you can go to a printer, you can print off an individual newsletter. And you can knock a door. It's a different way to look at it. You're really kind of coming, there's some power in the personalization because it's going to be their house, their address, their name, and you've got it for them. It's like a gift, and you can start to build and qualify your database immediately. So why not around every open house set a goal to meet some people? Why not? How many will you knock? How many will you add? I want you to start to think of it that way through an open house. It's so easy to not do that, right? We've always been trained to, let me just hold the open, count up how many people sign in. If they don't sign in, who cares? The ones that did, I'm going to follow up. I'm going to try and sell them a house. Move on. There's a better way to do it that does all of that and something else. That's what I'm trying to describe. Okay? So here's some examples of a door knocking strategy. Hey, I'm Scott from Remax, and hey, I'm holding your neighbor's house open at 1234 Main. I just wanted to stop by, ask you two things. Number one, would you be interested in getting a private tour of it? And number two, do you happen to know of anybody who, I love this neighborhood. Do you know of anybody who would want to move into this neighborhood? Talk to them. Right? You want to get their name, have a laugh, be you, and then, well, Joe, I actually love this area. I've been focused on it for many years, helped many buyers and sellers in the area. And can I ask you a quick question? If one of your friends or neighbors were thinking about selling or buying a home, who would you recommend they call? Does that sound familiar? Should sound like the chosen one script, right? Then, hey, the only reason I ask is that if you don't really have a person who knows the area that is focused on this area as well as I do, I was just wondering if I could have a chance to be that person. What I'd like to do is stay connected with you. I got this great newsletter that helps you keep track of the value of your home and what's happening around your home. I do community events, and I send out interesting information just to stay connected. Sometimes to support some charities, sometimes it's information about the real estate market, just in general. Would it be all right if I stayed connected with you? As I'm handing them a newsletter. Okay? Oh, hey, there's no catch. It's just fun information and informative information. And if you ever need a contractor or a service provider, because I help a lot of people in this industry, you know, help the person get their, connect with a hardwood floor refinisher and a guy to build a fence. Anytime you need somebody, I've got this great, I just want to be a resource to you. Does that sound fair? I'd love to help you. Okay? Then you're going to get their contact information, put them in your database. Okay? You decide if you're going to put them in your electronic newsletter or both your physical newsletter and your electronic newsletter based on the connection you had. And then you want to build a relationship, invite them to your events, stay connected with them. It's really that simple. If there's no connection, they're the type of person that kind of shuns you. Next. The one thing I haven't focused enough on is the leverage of this around my house, and I didn't have this awakening until I realized that I was squandering that opportunity to have the joy of working people closer to my home, working with people closer to my home. I want you to think about it differently. Now, does that mean that you're only going to do open houses near your home? Not necessarily, not necessarily, okay? I'm just saying that there are going to be times where you may want to take it up a notch and do some door knocking because it is in your target area, because it is something you want to go above and beyond. Okay? Might not happen every time. It's up to you. You're building your own business. You're your own CEO. I'm here to give you tools to help you build whatever you want to build. Okay? So now, in your agent resources guide, you can download a spreadsheet that has kind of this in a spreadsheet format to help keep track of it, easily print it. But here is the open house system that we've kind of worked on and reworked on over the years. It was super fun before I went on camera here. I think someone said that they had 50 people through an open house. Mind-boggling and awesome. I had some people, when I asked, hey, are you using this the spreadsheet? And a few said every week, which is cool. Some people had the furrowed brow because they forgot where it was. Well, here's the summary. You want to review your universal callback scripts so you know your compelling benefits, your language of benefits. You want to make sure the property's listed in the MLS. You want to mark it as open in the MLS. All of the IDX providers, including V4 Software, pick up and promote open houses based on the fields in the MLS now. It's a great way to publicize it. You used to only be able to do it in the newspaper or Craigslist. I guess I'm dating myself. You should advertise it on Craigslist. Then you prepare a map and other listings that are like this, and that's your giveaway for people that sign in. Okay? You're going to do a CMA so you know how the property's priced. Do it on your own so you can understand it yourself. You want to get familiar with the property in the Form 17. Literally before I came on camera today, I was asked about some errors on a Form 17 from a person that sat one of my open houses. So it was super helpful. And the listing agent that you're doing it with or for will be thankful when you've helped them out because you're being a pro. All right? Bring at least 4 to 6 open house signs, and balloons work great. Before the fire marshal reprimanded us for having helium in our office, we used to have helium in our office. They made us bolt it to the wall, they made us do a bunch of stuff, and they kind of finally won. But you should maybe consider bringing that back. Dollar stores, by the way, if you have Dollar Tree or dollar stores, they give you balloons and they fill them up with helium for $1. It's worth it. All right, bring a sign-up sheet. Be there 20 minutes early, set up your signs. Okay, dress properly. Bring business cards. Bring a buyer and seller folder, pen and paper. Don't try and do VIP buyer or seller during your open house time. Okay? You're bringing them just in case something happens afterwards. You could go meet someone afterwards, that's all. Okay, make sure your super key, whatever you use in your MLS to access the property is all ready to go, and that's that. Okay? So now, that's great, Scott. That's obvious stuff. All right, well, we tried to study as much as we could why people would get shut out. Sometimes weather will do it. Right now, I'm really hoping that this hurricane that is coming toward North Carolina isn't as big as they say it is. Sometimes weather will drive attendance through open houses. It is a fact, okay? But this checklist is designed to help you minimize the risk of getting shut out. All right, so let's do it. Is this a desirable neighborhood, okay? What's the number of pending and sold in the last 3 to 6 months? Okay, is it near a busy road, busier road that I can siphon traffic off of? Okay, and you got to use enough signs to siphon traffic off the busy road. Does it have the bed, bath, and square foot price point of the target buyer I want to work with? And by the way, don't fall into that trap of, I just want to sell really expensive houses. Because really expensive houses have a smaller pool of buyers. They turn over less frequently, and they are the hardest hit when the market shifts. There's nothing wrong with doing it, but don't put all your eggs in that basket. Does that make sense? Have a mix of the type of buyer you're targeting. First-time home buyer price points, higher velocity, typically renting, faster closings, okay? Target areas that are already having open houses, okay? If you target areas that are already having open houses, traffic begets traffic. People will be coming to see one, then they might come and see another, etc. In our market, people seem to expect 1 to 4 on Saturday and Sunday. That's kind of changing, and maybe off camera we'll talk about it, but I think if you have a choice of doing it 12 to 3 or instead of 1 to 4 or not at all, then do it 12 to 3. I'm just saying, hey, test the different times and don't get stuck on it, but that's just an idea, okay? And why not run twilight open houses? You know, there's a sneaky long proposition there on a twilight open house because you get your sign out. Invest in some signs with your name on it, especially if you're working in a neighborhood near you. And do some twilights so people are seeing you routinely when they're coming home from work. All right? So now when you're there, you want to have a table, have a sign-in sheet, maybe a sign that references how people can get insider access to properties before they're on the MLS or the internet. Maybe a sign that that's our VIP buyer value prop, okay? A sign-in, like a security sign for the safety and security of our homeowner and the agent. We require you to sign in. Yeah, we need you to sign in, but you're going to give them a gift for doing so. Okay, well, that gift is a list of other houses, open houses, and a map in the area. Not just open houses, but all houses in the area. Okay? And then that's that. Last point I'd make is track your results. Okay? If you track your results and you had a fantastic outing, try and see which ones were the check that you could check off so you can repeat that. And if you had the converse, if you had one that didn't get enough, was I missing something from my checklist? All right? Now here's a contrarian view that made me smile. Okay? And in the next video, I'm going to do a summary of kind of what are the takeaways and how you can build your own plan. And I actually learned about this guy on the Real G TV. I don't get anything for promoting Real G TV. I subscribed. It's pretty cost effective. It's Mike Cerrone. He interviews top agents and they share some of their success stories. They share some things that work for him. This is Mitch. Okay, so Mitch he has a very successful team. I forget how many. Oh yeah, he sold 640 homes. That's a pretty successful team, I'd say. Okay, and he says, hey, you get 24 units a year, 24 transactions a year using this open house strategy. I was like, well, tell me more. That was good internet marketing. I watched. This is what Mitch does. It's complete and total contrarian view to what I just taught. But I just want you to be open-minded to this. Because remember, 5% of people find their agent through an open house. So here's what Mitch does. No advertising on the MLS or Craigslist. Well, that's crazy. How's he going to get traffic? It had me totally intrigued. Signs from the street only. He has fun. He's himself. He tries to break the ice with humor. Lets them tour the house. You want to buy this house? No. Most common answer, no. Oh, okay. You want to look at other houses? How about right now? And he literally closes the open house and starts to show them houses right then. And I'm seeing people laugh, which made me, I'll laugh too. It was completely contrarian, and I love contrarian views. Okay? And when he was interviewed, he goes, yeah, I'd rather have one motivated buyer that I can bond with and then a list of 50 that don't call me back or gave me a fake number. Wow. Okay, so that was fun for me. Now, congratulations, you've reached the end. The next video is a summary video. It's gonna pollinate your mind. It's gonna refresh some of the things we've covered, and it's gonna help you think about how you can build the business you want. You got into real estate because you love to help people, and you love to sell houses and help people buy and sell houses. Now, what I want you to do is to start thinking about what you're gonna do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis so that you can achieve whatever you set out to achieve. So thanks for watching. Watch the summary video. I'm gonna wrap it all up for you in the next one. Thanks.